Bill Brody.
Thank you, Leslie. If I were to go around the group and ask each of you, what are the chances that your boss would give you a day off with pay because you did something really good for somebody? At some point, I think I would get a response like, Bill, the chance of that happening is like 1 in a million. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, by using a little story today, I'm going to illustrate some strategies on how you can be that 1 in a million. In 1981, I was recruited to be the manager of the X-ray department at the Royal Victoria Hospital in downtown Montreal. Shortly after arriving on the job, I made a promise to myself that if I ever received an unsolicited thank you card from a patient that included the specific name of one of our employees because of something nice that happened, then I would give that person a day off with pay. And I told nobody about this plan in order to increase the intended effect. That day did arrive. I received in the mail a thank you card with beautiful flowing penmanship from an older woman who wanted to let me know that a certain person, Ron Leduc, had been so helpful to her during her recent visit to our hospital for X-ray and other tests. I had it. The moment I had been waiting for. At that time, I shared my office with an assistant, and I let her in on the little secret because I knew once that was out, the whole department would be abuzz. Well, she thought the idea was fantastic, and she was tickled pink to be in on it. So I called the front desk and I asked them to page Ron and to send them to my office. You know the drill.
Mr. Leduc, Mr. Brody's office, please.
A few minutes later, Ron arrived, looking a little quizzical and confused. I asked him to take a seat. My assistant at her own desk had turned her back to us because she was laughing so much in nervous expectation and her shoulders were shaking. Ron, I began, I received a letter from a patient about you, and then I paused. Apparently, this patient was so pleased with the attention and service that you gave her that she sent me a card. Here, see for yourself. Ron visibly relaxed as he read the card, and a smile crept over his face. My assistant at this point had turned toward us, but she had her hand over her mouth because she knew what was coming next. Ron, I said, what you did is exactly what we are looking for in this hospital. The ability to go above and beyond our patients' expectations so much that they feel compelled to tell somebody about it. As a little reward, I'm allowing you to take a day off with pay. Ron sputtered. He stuttered. His mouth was open. He groped for words. My assistant and I, at this point, we couldn't contain ourselves, and we all joined in the joy. Ladies and gentlemen, you know the MasterCard commercials. The cost of a day off with pay, $150. The look on Ron's face, priceless. He thanked us profusely and went back to work, but I think he was walking a little higher. And the effect on the department was dramatic and joyful. And one day, not long after, I even overheard a technologist telling a patient how to spell his last name. That's R-I-C-C. Oh, well, it can only happen once. And now I have a question for you concerning the theme of today's speech. Who in your mind was the 1 in a million? Was it Ron because of his excellent service? Or was it the manager for having thought up a unique recognition and reward? I'm not going to ask for a show of hands or anything like that, but just think about it. And while you do, I'll give you a bit more background about the hospital where we worked. The Royal Victoria Hospital is a very large hospital, part of the McGill University teaching hospitals. And our department employed about 120 people there to deliver the services. We were open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Over the course of a single year, we would complete between 130 to 150,000 exams. And I worked there from 1981 to 1989. So if you do the math, 8 years at about 140,000 exams per year means that over 1 million people came through our department. And yet, in all that time, I received just the one card that actually thanked the person by name. And it took over 6 years to receive that. Oh, we received a few cards or letters that every year with generic thank yous, and we appreciated them and posted them for the staff. But it really puts the icing on the cake to be able to thank someone personally. So the theme does not refer to Ron as an employee being 1 in a million, nor does it refer to me as the manager being 1 in a million. It refers to the patient, who both figuratively and literally was 1 in a million. That incident caused me to look more closely at my own behaviors and to investigate customer service practices. And as a result of my research, not only everyone here can benefit, but who knows, perhaps we can generate extended benefits or even surprises for others. First of all, I found that to see the good, one has to look for the good. It's there, if you will but look for it, and requires one to be externally focused. For example, one has to realize that the person serving you appreciates recognition for the work they are doing, and that our own needs will be met by focusing on others' needs. Or as several famous authors have put it, treat others as you would like to be treated. Secondly, develop what is called an attitude of gratitude. Tell people you're grateful for what they do. Use their name. Acknowledge them. Once you start, it can become a habit. And explore different ways of recognition. And third, just do it. Not everything has to be a written note, a letter, or online comment or message. Just do it and let people know how much you appreciate them and their help in a sincere manner. You can become a card-carrying agent. You can buy some thank you cards and keep them on hand for those special times when a letter or card might be nice. Here are some samples of cards that I use, both personally and professionally. Thank you for your attention this morning. It's my hope that a small but significant action has been stirred up, and that perhaps one of you here will be the next 1 in a million. Contest chair.
Thank you, Bill.